name is Sally Yokobitis-Janacek. I am one of the founding members of the U of H Coog Moms. My son Patrick graduated from the University of Houston with his degree in digital media.
I'm Randy Galkowski. I'm the current president of Coog Moms, and I'm an alum here from a very long time ago. My husband also went here to the Hilton School, and my daughter attended the Hilton School. So that's our background with UH. Long time.
So, hi, I'm Patty Godfrey. I am the founding president of Coog Moms. We're thrilled to have this parent organization on campus. I'm a proud alumni, and my husband is a proud alumni. And our daughter earned her degree from the Honors College with a major in math and a minor in chemistry.
And I'm Troy Minen. I'm vice president in Coog Moms, and my dad was a UH alum, and my daughter is, as of a couple of weeks ago, a UH alum coming out of Colin Engineering School. Here, happy to chat.
Thank you so much for your time and for being open to being able to share your wealth of knowledge with other parents that are tuning in. I'll start off with the first question, and can you just share with parents maybe how your student may have struggled at any time, maybe when they started here at the university or maybe throughout their time with being away from home? And if so, how did you help them, or what did you advise them to do for help with that?
So I'll start off. So we lived in Sugar Land. We were local, and we insisted that our daughter live on campus, even though the commute wouldn't have been too bad. First child away from campus. I think it was harder for us, for her going away, even though it was only 25 minutes away, than her being away. She actually fell into the college life very well, loved her roommates, got involved. She took it upon herself to research some of the things that she was interested in. So I didn't really have to help her. She just kind of naturally transitioned into college.
We had a slightly different experience. Of course, I've had 3 kids now go through college, or one still in. Only one of them was here at U of H, but they all had similar response. The last 2 kind of self-plugged into things, and that was the key to them being comfortable away from home. Our daughter, likewise, we had her stay on campus even though it was just up the road. But plugging into campus was a big thing. My oldest daughter really struggled being away from home. She was actually out of Houston area for school. And the thing that helped her was other people, a roommate and a couple other friends in classes, pulling her into some things that then she found things she liked and started to grow herself. But it's really that connection, whether it's connection to a church, a group on campus. For my son, it's a D&D club that's out of the school he's in. So it's finding those connection points in those different areas is really what has equaled success for 3 very different personalities.
Well, they say hindsight is 20/20. So what do you wish you had known before your student went off to college?
I'll take some of that. Truly, the resources that are available that we either were not as aware of that as we should have, or that we did not plug into. And my kid had different, we had 1 semester here before the pandemic hit, so 1 semester plus 2 weeks before she had to leave campus. But even then, the resources that are available, how much the professors do care, and to advocate for yourself.
Also, I would say what's amazing here is the Career Center.
Mm-hmm.
The time to go visit the Career Center is not your junior or senior year. The time to visit the Career Center is, even before you come here. Just visit, go online, learn more information there. Just go onto uh.edu, and you'll find out more from the Career Center.
That's true.
Those college years are crucial in the development of a lot of young people. So can you share what has been the most interesting thing, or maybe even things that you've learned about your student in the time that they were, if they're still in college, at the time that they're in college, or if they finished at the time that they were?
I found that my daughter became much more vocal in college. Being a female math major, she had to be, because there was some of her senior level classes that she was the only female in the class. And she was constantly being interrupted by male students who thought that they knew more than she did. So I was very proud of her for standing up and saying, hey guys, I know this stuff too. I mean, so she found her voice in college. And if you know her mother, she has got that voice. But that's kind of what I was so proud of her for doing and becoming.
I think for ours, especially our daughter was here, it was the revelation that she actually can survive without us hounding her all the time on all the little and big things. She somehow survived 4 years living with other people, even though her natural state of being is chaos. Somehow she worked with roommates that helped her kind of rein her chaos and keep it in her little corner when she shared a room and worked that out. Whereas we would have felt before that we were going to have to manage that for her. So it's that growth and learning how to get along and grow and be a part of a community.
Mm-hmm.
And being a self-advocate, my son transferred from another college, was changing his career, didn't know what he wanted to do for his major. And again, he went to the Career Center, and he also did a lot of research online for U of H, and that's what got him into his wonderful degree, his wonderful career now. So it just amazed me that, you know, he blossomed as well that way.
So thank you for sharing that. What kinds of supports or support systems do you feel the university offers? And that could be whether academic side through maybe their academic department and or on the student services side as well. So could you share maybe some of those different supports?
I would say shocked, but overwhelmed with honestly CAPS, the counseling services that are available. And once we had them come talk to our group, I was very overwhelmed with what is available and the kids, you know, just finding out about that and reaching out to them.
And the variety of support
Yes.
methods they have, whether it be online support or group support or just a drop in, drop out type situation. They had so much to offer, as well as connection to more intensive one-on-one if that was needed, all those connections. Similarly, for me, was our tour and breakfast at the DART Center, Student Access Center. And to see all the ways that the students can get the support, whether it's for specialty testing conditions or rooms or equipment, maybe for hearing impaired or for blind, or for those that can't be in a busy environment to test, all the different accessibility options that are there for the students in that center.
Well, also the teachers themselves. I mean, the professors. My son, he just knew if he needed to ask a question about an assignment, he just would email that professor, that teacher, and within seconds, that teacher was you know, getting back with him, or that evening or whatever. I mean, the communication was so strong while he was here between his teachers, the groups that he worked in, and the professors. They were just amazing.
What fears or concerns about your student did you have, or do you have, a current student, or did you have for any recent alums at the time that they were here?
You know, I think as a parent, them leaving the house and being on their own is fearful. I mean, it's just, you know, I don't know any parent who, whether it's your first or your last, right? You hope at the end of the day you've done a really good job with them, right? And that they turn out to be good people. You know, I think for me, it was fitting in. It was finding the right group of students, the right group, the right organization. People. That they felt comfortable being around. I think that's, for me, the fear was that she wouldn't find that. And I let her find it herself. I know as parents, it's easy for us to want to call the university and send our kids links and tell them all of the resources. And it's our nature. I mean, we're parents. That is absolutely our nature. My mom still does that, right? I mean, so having them do a lot of that on their own is also kind of one of those fearful things, but they manage. They all do.
That was always and it still is with our one that's off at another school. That was always my wife's biggest fear, and it's her greatest concern. Mine is a little different. My greatest concern, whether it's driving from Sugar Land to U of H or driving all the way up into a college in Louisiana, my concern and fear is always their commute. I'm always most worried. for the daughter when on the weekends when she's coming home or going back, and I'm watching, and she lets me track her all the things. Say, okay, good, she's at the school. Okay, I recognize it. So that, I mean, that was maybe not the same for a lot of people, but that was always my biggest concern.
And speaking about, because you led kind of to the next question is how often or how do you communicate with your student, and what's the most common way in which y'all communicate? Is it by phone, text, email, apps, all different things?
Ours is generally text or Snapchat. The only reason I joined Snapchat is to communicate with my kids, even if it's a photo of what they're having for dinner. It's just a way to stay in touch in that. There will be phone calls. Now my daughter's, 30 minutes away, so we get to see her every 3 weeks or so. My son's in San Antonio, so that's a whole different thing. But sometimes phone calls, but yeah, generally text.
I didn't want to be every week texting them saying, what's going on? How are you doing? I want them to know that I wasn't nagging, I wasn't helicoptering. I really wanted them to find themselves, so they had to figure out when they could call me. And of course I was, every once in a while I'd be like, I can't talk now. And they'd be like, wait, I'm calling you. And I'm like, I know, I'll call you back. And so,
You have a life.
I have a life too. And so, as a parent, right, I think that's, let them set the tone
That's very good.
for the communication process.
Yeah, and for us, it's actually the most predominant one is Snapchat. And the only one I think my wife makes a point to ask for and to send them a note is, hey, send me a first day picture. The rest of them, it's more them led. But she actually made my son get on Snapchat. He was not a social media person. She made him get on Snapchat because she got tired of trying to fill him in on what he was missing with his two sisters and her talking back and forth on Snapchat. So
What about you?
Also, what we would do is if we felt like we had not seen our son for a while, we just say, "Hey, do you want to go meet for dinner?" All three of our sons would do anything for food.
yes, we have friends too that will.
Yeah, so we would just say, "Let's go meet here for dinner and or lunch," and that's when we could really have some one-on-one time and visit with our son.
I love that. It's a good point.
I like that about dinner. That worked for my parents as well.
Exactly.
This is something I think y'all would definitely enjoy this question. What resources or opportunities does the university have for parents?
Well, if you hadn't figured out, we are all with Coog Moms. We are the official parent organization here at the University of Houston, and we are a huge resource for you. Whether you join or not, we are here for you. We have events.
www.uhcoogmoms.com.
Yeah, check us out. I mean, there's definitely some advantages to being part of our group. It's $25 for the year. 30. Sorry, it did go up. It did. I keep forgetting that. $30 scholarships. We give grants on campus, tailgates, watch parties. We gave one of our dads threw out the first pitch at a U of H baseball game. Check us out.
Just like for the students, community is how you connect. For the parents, you're on an island now. You've just sent your child away to some place. It may be down the road for many, but it may be across the country for some. But having a community that you can connect with, that you can get to know, if you're far away, get to know through the Facebook and through discussions there. If you're local, coming to some of our events and hanging out and getting to know each other, it builds that community and connects you. So when you do face something that's a challenge with your kid, they graduate and they still haven't found a job, there's folks you can chat with and get connection with that are in the same boat as you or maybe have gone through that before. So.
Well, our face page is private and parents get on there and ask questions. We've gotten parents through hurricanes, snowstorms, floods, all of that. When, what does a parent do when the school's closed on a Friday after 5 o'clock or they've had there's been a snowstorm? How can they find out if there are certain dining halls open on campus? Well, some parents go onto our Facebook page and find out. They ask questions.
We look at parents as partners, and I think that's the university's main thing, and that's why we're supported by the university. as the official parent organization, is because we look at parents as partners, right? If you're happy, your kid's happy. If your kid's happy, you're happy. Chances are, like Troy, I mean, you're going to know more about what's happening at the university through Coog moms than your kids will. So,
Because I know your children tell you everything.
right.
Well, at the end of the day, we all, right? It takes a village. And now we're your village. We are your people.
What advice can you give on how parents can best prepare their student for that transition from high school to college, or prepare some community college to a larger institution?
I would say teach your student to be strong and being a self advocate. If they need to go talk to a professor, you don't do that. Your student should go up and meet with the professor, text the professor, email, whatever. If they're having problems with a roommate, they need to take care of it. Go speak to the resident advisor or whoever's on their floor, that they've got to take care of it. Self-advocacy.
Start that transition as early as you can, but certainly in that summer before transitioning, whether it be financial management, again, advocacy for yourself, and just helping them learn that they are a strong person. Their soul is as old and wise as anyone else's, and that they're capable. And I know personally, my daughter went from very hesitancy, and it could be delaying packing or whatever. It could be sitting on the floor with your arms around your knees for the day before, to seeing her barely say goodbye in the parking lot. But and knowing that you're there for support. Kind of
I
stuff.
think the biggest thing for us really was helping them through those junior and senior years of high school, transition from me managing their time to them managing their time. Especially true for two of my kids who were very much into video gaming and watching just YouTube on cycle. They would use a whole day and not realize it on those things. And so helping them to learn to self-manage that, so that they could, when they're off at school and no one's going to tell them, hey, you really should get off the video game and do some homework, they have that check. They figured out a tool or a method or something, whether it's a roommate or a reminder in their phone, something to help them manage that so that they can then be successful. Because if you start that transition in this high school, you can see the results. You can see the grades. You can see their college. A lot of times you may not be able to see those. One of my 3 kids never would sign the little paper for us to see anything. So.
Can you share, if you did, how did you help your students explore possible majors or kind of what they want to do as far as a major for their career?
My daughter knew what she wanted to do, although she started off as a chem major with a math minor. And then she got into some math classes and some chem classes and decided quickly that math was actually more fun than chemistry, which I don't understand that. I mean, she kind of did that on her own. I think a lot of that came from the classes in the high school and the teachers that she had in high school who kind of molded her to do that. But talk to a counselor. I mean, gosh, get an internship of something you want to do, and you might realize, oh my gosh, this is not what I want to do at all. And talk to other people who are in the majors to see what they like about it. Some people obviously come in and they know exactly what they want, and the others, I mean, the average college student changes majors 3.6 times. So there's nothing wrong with them changing majors.
I agree. Exploration. That's why you've got all the different types of studies and categories and outlooks, and encourage them to try different things. And it's often trial and error, as she said. You thought you might like it, you don't know until you try it. So have that experience early on in your years, or whenever it happens. Why continue down a path that's just really not speaking to you?
Well, even this summer at the career fairs, when I'm talking to students and I'll say, well, where are you from? Or what is your major? And they'll look down at their ID and say, well, today it is. Yeah. And you see that quite a bit, and it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
We talked to a student yesterday. Yeah. And it could be life experiences that change that, for sure.
How would you give advice on how a parent can help their student maybe find scholarships?
uh.uh.uh.uh.edu.
Yeah.
Go on there.
Not even that. I mean, just Google scholarships. Goodness
Exactly.
gracious, there's
Yeah.
Fast Five.
Very careful because
Yeah.
so many of those are.
yeah, but you know what
are
though?
scams.
Yeah, they are. But you know, you gotta, if you don't apply, they can't say no, right?
Yep.
The worst thing they can say to you, no, if you apply, is no, sorry, you don't qualify. So there's
Yeah. Don't pay to
that.
apply.
No,
Don't pay to
don't
apply.
ever pay to apply for a scholarship. But also remind them that even though they're applying for multiple scholarships, they can have kind of one standard form letter, but each letter should talk a little bit in depth about the scholarship they're applying for. That don't just copy and paste. We used to get scholarship applications and it would say, "Oh, I'm so glad I applied to Cornell." Okay, no, because obviously you sent one to Cornell, but this is the University of Houston. So sorry, you may have been the best, but yeah. So
Pay attention to the details.
you know, it takes a little time, and if your student is willing to put in the time and the energy and the effort, then the rewards will be there.
I think the other thing is scholarships isn't just something for I'm getting ready to start college. There's actually more of them in the departments. And once you're in, through your departments, through the department head, through the professors, that you can find that are available to you. And you're more likely to land because of their connection with the school or the thing that you're trying to do. One of the organizations I'm with, the Houston Geological Society, we give a lot of scholarships every single year. But to get those, you already have to have started on a geology degree path. And so then that's when that becomes available to you. So keep looking and keep searching.
I always like to put it in context almost as a side job. Okay, you may think that, oh, a 500 or 1,000 or whatever may not be worth your time. But when you break it down, you spend 3 to 4 hours on a scholarship. What is that hourly rate?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it kind of puts it back in context of this is worth my time, the effort, and everything else.
Also, what a lot of students don't know too is that when they're applying for scholarships and they have a cover letter or they're writing about themselves, there are even websites that you can type your information into, and they can beautifully write your essay to help you with they'll beautifully rewrite your essay for you to help you to make it sound more professional or
And it's
edit your spelling. Yes, too, and give you ideas with a better adjective or a stronger adverb, something like that as well.
We can start offline. That many. Can you also just like tell us if your student possibly looked at student employment on campus or maybe certain internships, maybe through their different department and maybe through networking with a professor or someone, a mentor or so maybe had connected them with?
So I know Sally had mentioned the career services, which is amazing, but each college here at the University of Houston has their own career services. So if you're in the College of Hotel Restaurant Management, go talk to the HRM people. They know, they've got the connections. There's alumni who are in certain areas for you to look at getting jobs. And then there are tons of jobs. If you want to work on campus, oh my gosh, if you like sports and outdoors, go get a job at the rec center, right? If you want to get into, or you say you've waited tables or hostessed at a restaurant, work over at the Hilton and many of the restaurants there. So there's tons of opportunities both on campus and I think internships available. Again, it's just a matter of going, researching, finding what fits for you.
Well, our son Patrick, his degree was digital media, and one day he's on his computer and boom, it pops up all these different digital media jobs that you could have on campus. And so what he did was he interned with the football team and promoted Cougar football. So he would be the one down on the field taking pictures, putting them on Twitter, and also making videos, things like that. Or when the players were trying out for the pros, he was there when they were jumping up to see their height span of football, things like that. So even within their own little major, there's so much help that they can get.
That was probably the biggest mistake that my daughter made going here. She finished mechanical engineering in 4 years, which is not a common thing, but at the expense of now having lost out on at least 4 different job opportunities because she did not get an internship while she was here. First 2 years, it was COVID. She did the online Zoom career fair thing for internships. She just didn't work well with that. Third year, she had COVID, but her last summer, she could have probably landed an internship and had at least one offer from a neighbor with a company doing some AutoCAD work, but she focused on finishing her degree on time and took 2 summer courses instead of focusing on an internship or work experience. And that finishing in 4 years, yes, it saved some tuition money and that sort of thing, but it delayed her now at least, 3, 4, 5 months in actually landing a career because of that delay. So really weighed heavy those ideas of
Pressure.
work versus internships and things like that. Mm-hmm.
That's good information. The last question I have here is, if a student has a disability, are you aware of how the university can accommodate them, or any departments or areas in which parents or those students can reach out to for support?
Yeah, Patty had mentioned the Dart Center here on.
Troy had mentioned the Dark Center.
Is that Troy? Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, and again, I was unaware until we went over and kind of did a tour and listened to all the services that they do have to offer. So the university does have a really good center with people there to help.
Student Accessibility Center.
Yes.
Is what they have, which is amazing.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you, but I always like to end any type of interview. Is this, if you're able to share if there's anything maybe that I didn't ask, or any advice that maybe you have after hearing all these different questions, any piece of advice you want to leave with parents, or anyone viewing this that maybe we didn't already ask.
Let them fly, even though it's hard.
The Einstein once said, the more mistakes I made, the smarter I got. So let them make their mistakes and let them learn from them.
And it's hard as a parent, but fail forward. And it's not the mistake. It's don't stay down. It's what you do with that and how you learn from that. And just painful as it is for a parent, you got to kind of let them get bruised a bit and figure it out. And then they find their resiliency and their inner strength. And then they're proud of themselves for figuring it out at all.
Wow, that's all, you guys, that's all. I'm a runner, so I'm thinking this is a marathon, not a sprint.
That's true.
Right? Yeah, let them explore, let them succeed, be happy, let them fail, support, all of those things as a parent. I think that you would do no matter what. And just, you as a parent, take a little initiative for you to find out what's going on campus so that you can be there to support them when you need that.
Absolutely.
A lot of times we want to say goodbye, have fun, good luck, but I mean, we're parents.
There's a balance there.
There's a balance. There's a balance of being overly protective, and then you also knowing what the resources are available for them so that you can help them when
With
they
us.
need your help.
Correct.
So
And if only there were a group that could help you as a parent find that.
That's what Coog Moms are for. That's why we're here. Coog Moms.
It is though. It is a joint effort.
It
It's figuring out what's available. This, and each student's going to be different. Some will need a little bit more guidance, but it is amazing to see the changes that you see your kid, the growth. I read one time, it's kind of out of context here, but the decade of importance, 17 to 27, and choices, decisions, who you're running with, what major you choose, your best friends, all of those decisions in that 10-year time frame just really impact the rest of your life. And life is a series of choices, and we are just here to help them make the best ones and, spur them along, hopefully together.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time and for all the hopefully the parents got a lot of the gems that you shared with them, and it helps them be able to support their student, or the student they're watching is able to get something from what you shared that's going to be able to help them in their time here at the University of Houston. For the parents, I hope you really appreciate this. We'll be hosting some other interviews as well with the departments, other groups as well, to give you advice throughout the summer. We look forward to seeing you and your student in the fall semester. Go Cougs.